Hey Virgos, and welcome to your February 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys a really great reading for your month ahead. I'm actually really excited when I look at this spread for you guys, even though there are some potential obstacles that pop up, and there are some stereotypically heavier, more difficult energies present in your reading. I actually just get a feeling of comfort when I look at this, when I see what's coming forward for you guys, because I know that you guys have had a difficult experience towards the end of 2016. Everybody has. It's been a really scattered period of time for every zodiac sign, but Virgos are definitely one of the signs that's been especially true for, along with Scorpio, Leo, Cancer, Libra, and even Taurus. You guys have struggled. You guys have had a lot of endings, a lot of sudden endings that perhaps did not get their proper closure. And it's really just been a matter of coping from betrayal from people who you feel did not treat you the way that you treated them. You know, all of those gross energies kind of have been coming forward for a lot of signs recently. But when I see your reading for February, Virgo, I get a larger feeling of comfort. I feel like you're overcoming it. I feel like you're finding a new formula to kind of deal with what you're going through. And that's going to be your challenge for the month of February, is reassessing, rethinking, reestablishing your way of coping and getting through some of these difficult energies, because you've had a very set way of doing this for quite a while now. You've had a pattern, a specific way that you've gone about getting past the difficult things in your life, and it's like now it's not worked, and that may have been why it was such a chaotic period of time for you. But it's actually in a way a blessing, because there needed to be a shift in the way that you got past things. It may not have been so healthy in the past, even though it seemed effective, even though your coping mechanisms seemed effective in the past. It may not have been very healthy. So you've kind of been introduced to some of these difficult situations, I think, with the need to change that up a little bit. And I think that that's happening a lot in February for you guys. There are also a lot of new experiences coming forward, new chapters opening up. There's a potential to finally get to a place of culmination that you have wanted to be for a long time. This could be coming in a relationship or a project or your career, where you're finally getting to the place that you wanted to be, where you're finally reaching a goal. You have that Ten of Cups energy and the Eight of Pentacles energy. It's also going to be a very self-reflective month, and a month where you need to step back. I'm serious. Almost every single sign has had the Four of Swords in their reading, which has just been crazy for me, because it just freaks me out when the same card pops up for so many different people, because I shuffle so intensely. Anyway, you guys also have the Tower and Justice and the High Priestess and the Fool. So you've got the four major arcana cards. It's going to be a really strong month to remember. I'm just proud that I was able to count that, because in Cancer's reading, I didn't even count properly the amount of major arcana cards. They had 7, and I said it was 6. So I'm relearning how to count this month. So wish me luck on that. And you guys are also learning new things this month, as I was saying. Some of you may be deciding to go back to school. Some of you may be deciding to further your education. That's possible. Even self-knowledge with the High Priestess, like learning more about yourself, learning more about what you need. It's a very supported time to step into that role as well. You're also rethinking your budget, the way that you spend money. I know that you guys have been doing that for a while, I think. I don't remember whether it was in December or January where you guys were having kind of the big financial change, where you really all of a sudden had to completely redo your finances and like take on debt or sift through debt. I know that was a big archetype that Virgo was dealing with for a while. So I think now finally that's kind of moving into effect. Maybe you have the ability to be more spendthrift now because you have the Ace of Pentacles. It is reversed, so that says to me that you're spending a lot and you're spending a lot of money. I don't necessarily think that you're misspending money, but I do think that you are being pretty spendthrift right now, potentially. But I think that you have the ability to do that because you have the Eight of Pentacles. It's like your resources are becoming more stable and you have more options with your money right now. So I'm going to step into this reading from a week-to-week basis and see more specifically the energies that are coming forward for you guys. So in the first week, yes, you have this Ace of Pentacles reverse, rooted down by the Fool. So yeah, again, this is rethinking how you spend money. This is stepping into a new material chapter of your life. There are new job opportunities, opportunities to move jobs, to change career sectors. It'll be a good time to talk about promotions, to talk about raises, bonuses, anything that reinvigorates your career life or changes your career life is very supported right now. Because you guys have the potential to make more money now, you have the potential to earn more because it seems like you might not be earning enough to support your lifestyle, or you would like a better lifestyle. So it's a good time to pursue that because it's I feel like you guys are a little bit stagnant there. I feel like you want to change in work. So it's supported by the universe for you guys to redo that sector of your life right now. Moving into the second week, you guys have the Eight of Pentacles rooted down by the High Priestess. And this is a huge week of reflection, of seeing where you've come. It seems like you guys had a lot of big changes in the beginning of 2017 in January. And now moving into the second week of February, you're seeing if it was worth it. You're seeing if all the changes can put you into the right place of your life, where you want to be, where you're looking to be. I also get a feeling that some of you are wanting to travel. The King of Wands is your overall central theme, which is all about traveling and moving. I see that some of you might be wanting to go overseas or take on a foreign job. It's very supported right now. You guys just need to see about what honors you authentically at a personal level. And that's what you're figuring out in the second week, Virgos, of February. You're figuring out what makes your life worth it. It's like you're struggling to find the worth in your life and what you're doing. It's kind of like a crisis, or like maybe some of you are struggling with a midlife crisis, or even if it's not in midlife, you're having some kind of crisis with your day-to-day life and it not feeling like what you want to be doing. So I feel like you're trying to draw up a plan in the middle of February where you think about what you want to do and you draw out goals to achieve that. And Virgos, that's so supported for you. You're one of the best signs at making plans, at organizing, at setting long-term goals, because you actually do the work. Some of the fire signs, some of even the water signs and air signs can be really good at setting goals, but they're not so good at doing the work. You, Virgo, are better at doing the work than setting the goal. So really taking this time in the mid-month of February to set the goal is going to be so helpful for you because you know what it takes to fill it in and you're willing to do it. Okay, moving into the third week of February, you have the Ten of Cups rooted down by the Justice card. You guys are finally in a place that you want to be as it relates to family and romance and partnership. And it goes both ways, but I'm going to talk about the positive side first, which is unusual for me. I know I'm usually always talking about the negative side of everything, but there are a lot of Virgos out there who finally feel like they've gotten what they deserved, who finally feel like that they've stepped into a place in the mundane family realm of achieving what they set out to achieve. Maybe your family feels beautiful. A lot of you have a beautiful family that you finally were able to take to a place that evolves you a little bit, like you've been able to escape the more negative sphere that your like childhood family had, and you've been able to produce the family that you wanted to have as a child. So that's a really beautiful message that comes forward for some of you Virgos. Some of you may be recovering from a divorce or going through a divorce, but it's not too horrible, like you know that it needed to happen, and even if it's a little bit dramatic and theatrical almost. I see that some of you are kind of in a theatrical situation with somebody else, very dramatic. This needs to happen though, like this divorce, this legal prospect to your life. Like there could be some legal issues in court or something that you're dealing with as it relates to your family. That's something, it's just a necessary evil right now because something needs to be resolved there for sure. Moving into the fourth week, you guys do have the Tower rooted down by the Four of Swords. This is where it hits you. This is where any of the difficulties that you've been trying to get past, Virgo, really come into full focus. Okay. A lot of you guys are actually in a state of bereavement. You are mourning the loss of something. You are struggling a bit to heal from past wounds. Some of you did go through a breakup. Some of you went through just the archetype of loss, whether that be through breakup, through a death in the family, through disconnecting from a very important friendship that was long running. You feel a little bit destabilized by all of this. Your foundations seem a bit shaken right now, and it does, in an essence, everything is perfect, but everything is ruined for you guys. Yeah, everything, there's a beauty to everything going on for you guys, but there's a pain to everything going on. And for any of you artists out there, for any of you like really creative, passionate people, capitalize on this period of your life to materialize and manifest beautiful art, because you guys have such a contrast of light and dark, of beauty and pain, and you have so much experience and wisdom to manifest and materialize into something beautiful. It could be something as simple as relaying it to the people around you who are going through something similar. Like, you've been going through this for a long time, Virgo. You've been experiencing this situation for a very long time, so you've become very wise to it. You've become almost a guru in grief, in bereavement, in helping people. I know that I have a cousin who's a Virgo and an aunts who are Virgos, and they have helped me through so many difficult times in my life. And especially one of my just greatest friends who is a Virgo, who just really was able to help me do a 360, help me get my life together a little bit when I went through a difficult situation. And that's how you guys are. You're really good at helping other people. Sometimes it's hard to help yourself. Sometimes it's hard to do it within you, but you can really lay things out for other people and give other people the steps to getting past their own grief. But now it's your turn, Virgo. Now it's your turn to use that amazing ability that you have to really lay everything out in its transparency and put it together like a puzzle to solve a problem. Now it's your time to do that for yourself. And in the fourth week, it's about everything falling apart and rebuilding it in a way that serves you, starting with a new foundation that is so sturdy that it will never fall apart like it did for even like the last 5 or 6 years of your life. You're in a rebuilding stage. At the same time, you're in a stage of reflection because something did culminate, something is really fresh, something really long running did just run its course and is kind of over now, and you're kind of having to reflect on that. So it seems difficult to start anew. It seems difficult to completely pull back and jump back in. You know what I mean? But you have the Fool, you have the Tower, and justice. I mean, something is just about this. Something about this has a perfect and divine order, Virgos. So just know that any pain that you're going through, it's putting you on the path that you need to be on. Maybe if you weren't going through this pain right now, maybe you wouldn't run into that person who's your soulmate. Maybe you wouldn't find yourself talking to the CEO of that company that you've always wanted to work for. Maybe you wouldn't find yourself buying a plane ticket to somewhere that will make you feel so much more authentic as a person than where you currently are. This pain is difficult for you, Virgo, but it's what's putting you on the path to greatness, so never forget that. And don't be afraid to rest right now either. You might be feeling like you have to be accomplishing every single day. The message is if you can't pull back a little bit, you might feel a little bit sick, you might feel very drained. So make sure that you're taking time to sit with your pain, yes, but to also pull back a little bit from really mundane, draining events of drudgery, you know what I mean? Especially towards the end of the month. And this is for everybody, even all the other signs too, because we're at the end of the astrological year. We're going into Aquarius and Pisces time, which is a waning period. You know, even though it's the new year in January, really that's a time of waning and a time of things ending until March, when we go into Aries, and April. March and April come, Virgo, you're going to be feeling so much better. You're going to be feeling so reinvigorated, and you're going to be able to get past any of these difficult things that you've been going through because, again, King of Wands is your central theme. You have a lot to learn from higher evolved Sagittarius people, and at a lesser level, Leo and Aries, masculine energies too, mature. But if you know any Sagittarius, like, there's a lot to learn from them. Even if you don't have the best relationship from them, there's like a note to take from the way that Sagittarius would deal with a problem like this. Maybe you need to be more spontaneous. Maybe you need to embrace just buying a plane ticket and going somewhere if you can, or just going on a weekend getaway, even if it's just like a few miles away from where you live. There's something about being a bit more spontaneous and doing something that's out of the norm that will help you guys to heal, because you guys can be kind of status quo sometimes. You guys can do things really properly, and sometimes your routine is so important to you that you never kind of get out of it. It's important to get out of it a little bit in February and kind of dip your toes into the deep end, if you know what I mean, because things are falling apart to an extent and you can't do much about that. It's really not your fault. It's not your battle for a lot of you. Maybe a lot of you are trying to come to the rescue to other people in your life, and it's not your battle to fight. I would recommend just doing your own thing for a while, okay? And also, having the King of Wands as your central energy says that you have the ability to turn this into something beautiful. Again, like I said, I mentioned art, I mentioned manifesting that. That's where I get that theme, because it's like you're turning this painful situation into something great. Like, you guys are looking fabulous. You guys are so magnetic, having the High Priestess and the King of Wands. You're so attractive to the people around you. And a lot of you may actually be attracting in new romantic relationships as well. I feel like you will have a lot of people knocking on your door, messaging you if you don't already. You have so many options in February, even though it seems like the one thing that you want isn't available. But be grateful for the options that you have, even though that comes with the sometimes difficult position of having to choose, you know? Maybe some of you are like, I wish I didn't have so many options because I don't want to have to make choices right now. But do remember that it's better to have an option than to have none at all. You know what I mean? Acknowledge that you are blessed to have the options that you do right now, and be grateful for those who are helpful to you, because there is an issue with helping other people. Like, you guys have a bit of a struggle with doing too much or not enough. That's just an archetype that comes forward. So evaluate how you've helped other people, how other people have helped you, and see if there's an equal exchange there. That's another key archetype that you guys are experiencing in February. Overall, I think that it's going to be a very telling month. It's going to be a very dramatic month. It's going to be a month of reflection and magnetism, attraction, and starting a lot of new projects and doing something different. Embrace that spontaneity, Virgos. It's going to be so good for you. This has been a great reading. I really enjoyed it. I hope it resonated for you guys. I have an Instagram now if you want to follow that, where I'll be posting just daily draws or weekly draws and, random spiritual things. Also, if you'd like to book a private reading, you can do that right now. It should be popping up on the screen in the middle. And I hope that you'll watch your sun, moon, and rising sign. I'm rooting for you guys, and I will see you in March. Bye.